uncertainty, and volatility. Secure connectivity is imperative. We rely on it to manage crisis and contribute to the defense of Europe, ensure surveillance, and protect critical infrastructures, drive new business opportunities, and bridge the digital divide. The EU is developing a state-of-the-art satellite system to provide secure, reliable, and cost-effective connectivity to governmental users and businesses, offering high-speed internet in areas with limited or no access. The system is called Infrastructure for Resilience, Interconnectivity, and Security by Satellite, or IRIS² for short, the first ever public-private partnership of its kind. The IRIS² constellation will consist of around 300 satellites at various orbits, supported by strategically located control centers across the EU. Both governmental and private users will benefit from the best possible service for their needs. Connectivity services will be provided through existing capacities and full IRIS² services in 2030. The technology behind the constellation will be designed with the support of the European Space Agency, ESA, while the EU Agency for the Space Programme, EUSPA, will ensure the security accreditation and the provision of governmental services. With IRIS², Europe will no longer depend on others for satellite connectivity. It will lead in technology and security, environmental sustainability, and high-skilled job creation. IRIS² will ensure secure communication with global coverage, connecting all European citizens. IRIS², connecting Europe, connecting the world securely.
There are over 500,000 square miles of the U.S. unreachable by any cell phone tower. Places where emergency texts never send, where emotional messages are not received, and countless memories are left unshared.
Doing good. You're doing good.
But T-Mobile is about to change that. T-Mobile partnered with Starlink to launch hundreds of satellites, creating the only space-based network that automatically connects to the phone you already have. And because connection means everything, we're inviting anyone on any wireless carrier to experience it for free.
You won't believe where I am right now.
T-Mobile Starlink. If you can see the sky, you're connected.
Tunnels coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future. And you like feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1.
We're going to be doing something else. It's going to be very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. Never been done before, anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks out? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
Sure.
Wait a minute.
For that gold card, do you have to invest a certain amount of money in this country in order to qualify for that gold card?
Yeah, exactly.
So the EB-5 program was really, you lend some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States of America instead?
The gold card, well, millions, but the gold card will bring in with it people that create jobs, very high level people. I think companies will pay to get people in. For instance, you today graduate from the Wharton School of Finance or Harvard or Stanford or any college, and nobody knows if you can even go to work for a company. So Apple and all these companies that want to get people to be working for them will be able to buy a card, and for the people that are number one in their class at top schools, I see that as one of the things. But generally speaking, it'll be people with money and people that create jobs, and they won't have to pay any tax on income outside of the United States, which they're not paying right now. They're not citizens, but they'll have to pay if they create jobs in the United States. They'll pay full taxes like everybody else. So you're getting big taxpayers, big job producers, and we'll be able to sell maybe 1 million of these cards, maybe more than that. And if you add up the numbers, they're pretty good. As an example, 1 million cards would be worth $5 trillion. $5 trillion.
Wow.
And if you sell 10 million of the cards, that's a total of $50 trillion. Well, we have 35 trillion in debt. That'd be nice. So we'll see. But it could be great. Maybe it will be fantastic. We have it all worked out from the legal standpoint. It's totally legal to do. Hasn't been done before. It's been done in many different forms. We give them away. Why should we give them away? We shouldn't give them away. And I think it's something very exciting. I think it's potentially just something that we're all very excited about.
お前はもう死んでいる。Greetings, brothers and sisters from the four corners of the world. Well, we are here. We've now finished the portion of Only a Remnant Survive, Psy-Op, Lukewarm Water. And now we are in Psy-Op, Lukewarm Fire. This lesson is called Into the Fire. I want you to pay attention and look at this visual here. Into the fire. What does it mean to you? Maybe tough times, maybe having some faith, some works, maybe you being alone, being uncomfortable. If you want, you can put in the comments, what does this picture represent to you? Okay. All right. We are in the fire. There's only one way to explain it. We, the world, are into the fire. And there's no turning back. There's no turning back. It's either straight uphill or straight downhill. You're going to have to choose. Right? But we're gonna start this off a little differently. So many things going on in the world, right? And I know that video was kind of wild. Apologize for the mistakes there, but the video was kind of wild because you have the portions with Starlink in Europe, Iris 2. Everything is preparing to connect, right? You have Trump and the gold cards. You have the Thai monarchy, and I think there was a woman who was in charge, and she has her staffing, and people crawl to her as they give gifts. I mean, and you may ask, why did I show that? No, I'm not going to talk about Thailand, but I showed it strategically for after Trump, that when all is said and done, they're going to make people bow to this individual and to the individuals who are his partners. I want you to think about that. But how it's going to be is you're not going to go bearing gifts. You're going to go bearing your soul. That's what's going to happen. You're going to go bearing your soul. Give me food. Give me shelter. Give me water. You're going to go bearing these things. And they're going to do it. In time. In time. Okay. Now, so many things. So many things are going on. Okay. And in some ways, I don't even know where to start. So many things are going on. So, you have the gold card. You have, well, you know what? Let's do this because there's a lot. Have mercy, Most High, Most High. So, we're going to start with New York City. All right, now I saw this in different places, give different, thoughts on it, but um, they're supposedly doing a fact check everywhere you go, but I have seen a video, and they said that this governor of New York is proposing a $1 walking tax to go from, I guess, borough to borough, certain parts of the city within New York City, $1 walking tax. And how it would work is the cameras would take pictures of you, I guess, send you the bill, whatever the case is. Kind of weird, right? Kind of weird. Just kind of. All right. Cover the ears and the eyes of the kids. Maryland in the United States is pushing forward a bill to put vending machines for condoms for kids in schools starting at kindergarten. Starting at kindergarten. And it's kind of crazy that everything is being revealed because a lot of people said, oh, yeah, Trump is going to change things, and still happening. Ain't nothing changing. Still happening. Still happening. It says vending machines in kindergartens kindergarten, nursery, elementary, and secondary, which is the high schools. I mean, every day the Most High shows people a little bit more why this place called America there is Babylon. It is the filth of the earth. I mean, that's filthy. Your children can't go to school to learn properly because you have to teach them about this before they see it. And then how they learn it in the schools from their education, supposedly, so called, they're going to teach differently from a parent. I know for one, I wouldn't be dare not teaching my children some kindergarten, nursery, element. Huh? That shouldn't even be your focus. But it's kind of like a curse within lands because Europe, America, Central South America, like what they would call, I don't want to say the Latino countries, but Hispanic Latino countries. You guys understand what I'm referring to. They really emphasize, and even some places in Africa, I ain't gonna lie, some places in Africa too, they really seem to emphasize this whole dating when people are young, like kids are young, elementary and high school, which is, if you sit there and think about it, it's kind of sickening because you should be like encouraging, oh, that's so adorable. They got a school date. That shouldn't even be at schools. Proms and all that. That stuff shouldn't even be in schools. What are we doing? School should be for learning only. Moving forward, new powers for the UK, for all our UK brothers and sisters out there. This will be the golden hour of investigations, hence the word golden hour. So that you know all nations will more than likely follow suit with America, by the way. At least the European powers, because they're one and the same beast, right? So, what's happening? Let's take a look. So, there's some new laws, new powers for police to tackle neighborhood crime. It is supposedly one of the biggest legislative updates to policing for decades. A package of new laws will tackle antisocial behavior. Hmm. Shop theft and street crime. Now, for our brothers and sisters who are in the UK, I know you would hear more than I do. But when they say antisocial, it almost sounds like this is a targeting for those who don't want to be involved in the type of lifestyle that maybe the government is, let's say, promoting. So I'm going to be antisocial because I don't want to participate in what the government and what other people are doing. Could I be wrong? Yeah, but it just sounds weird, right? All right, the Crime and Policing Bill, which is central to the government's plan for Change and Safer Streets mission, will be introduced in Parliament. That was on the 25th of February 2025. It will include measures to address the highest harm crimes impacting society, which is knife crimes. Hey, I don't know what's up with Europe, but I get it. Everyone there don't got guns. But maybe they should ban knives too, because Europe is wild. Europe is wild. I've been seeing some of those things with machetes. I'm just like, what? What? People are people are crazy over there as well. Just like in the United States, they're crazy over there. People, Europe is crazy too. A knife? So I want you to understand, like, okay, people in the United States, they carry guns sometimes in certain places, but you can't. I mean, and there are some laws in the United States that say, hey, some people can't get guns. And yeah, there's back doors to everything, right? But you can't criminalize a knife because people eat with knives. Now, you can criminalize machetes, that's true, but why do they make them? Why do they produce them, right? It's just kind of wild. But yeah, the UK is bad too. Good grief. But I did share years ago, I said, even in previous lessons, I said, what happens in the US will happen in the UK, Europe, France. You see that. I'm not a fan of France, I don't know. But, you know, for our brothers and sisters who are there, we love you. Anywho, says knife crime, violence against women and girls. I've been hearing some crazy stuff about the violence against the younger females, the younger girls in the UK. Oh, so crazy that I wouldn't even dare say the things that's happening over there. But I'm just like, whoa. I'm just like, whoa. And you kind of got to think, right? Because the issue, and some of our UK brothers and sisters, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, but the whole thing with the Pakistani man and the girl, or the men, I should say. And it's crazy because you had this woman who went from the United States, from New York, to Pakistan, and they didn't even treat her like this when she could have been abducted. Like, they didn't have to do the right thing at all. Like, you're in my country. I could arrest you. I could beat on you with sticks and all kinds of things, right? But notice how they didn't. Notice how they only do those things in Canada, US, Europe. Now remember, I shared with y'all that the Most High said he was going to bring these people who were evil to those lands. Because how the land was taken over, it now has to come back. It has to come back sevenfold. Just as you've done to others, it must be done to you. Am I saying this right? No. But if the Most High, if you are, in a courtroom with the Most High, and the Most High is the lawyer, what do you say then? You say, well, there were innocent children for decades and decades and decades and decades. Well, why didn't you say anything for all my creation, not just for Caucasian or what people would call white? Why didn't you say anything for the Chinese children? Why didn't you say anything for the North Korean children? Why didn't you say anything for the African children? Why don't you say anything for the Venezuelan or the Honduran children, the Guatemalans? Why don't you say anything for them? Why is it only an atrocity when it happens to people who look like yourself? This is a wild world we live in. But hey, all things are coming out, and I would advise everyone to get some tough skin. Okay. Christ was tough, and in order to endure until the end, you must have that tough skin. It says child abuse, I'm not going to say that word, okay, and terrorism. It says police will be given enhanced powers against theft and mobile phones, no longer needing a warrant to search properties where stolen items have been electronically geolocated. Under the warrantless powers of entry, officers will be able to enter premises identified by electronic mapping if stolen items are believed to be there and it is not practicable to obtain a warrant from a court. This can be done through a Find My Phone app, Wi-Fi access points, Bluetooth, mobile networking technology, or tracking devices attached to any other positions or vehicle. Now, my brain is like, imagine you may know someone who stole something and you allow them to stay at your home. Oh, shoot, it's bad. Imagine living in an apartment complex or a townhome and all they see is a circle saying, okay, we got stolen items here. They're going to raid the whole apartment complex. I mean, what could go wrong, right? And then it says, if stolen items are believed to be there. So this is also a means of targeting certain people. It will support the police to act swiftly in the golden hour of investigations. Now, I'm just saying they throw in this around quite a lot in this world. Golden, 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 which is particularly crucial for investigations into theft, helping to provide swifter seizures of stolen property, and providing a better service to victims. Sitting at the heart of the government's Safer Street missions and plan for change, the new bill will help tackle crimes that matter most to communities but have been ignored for too long. The new laws will be backed up by the recruitment of 13,000 extra neighborhood policing roles with a named officer in every community. Sounds a bit weird because if you have at least one or two officers in every community, it kind of looks more like a surveillance, kind of, as in who's bringing in what and why. Hmm. It says, and I'm skipping down here, for too long, communities have had to put up with rising town center and street crime and persistent antisocial behavior. So, brothers and sisters from the UK, I need you to tell me, what is this antisocial behavior? Because I'm feeling that maybe I could be wrong. I haven't been to the UK before, so I would love to hear what this means. And for years, too little have been done to tackle the most serious violence of all, including knife crime and violence against women and children. It sounds like the UK is just like one big cage where they just drop weapons, like a coliseum, and they just say, all right, No guns, but pick your choice of weapon. Now have at it. Because it seems wild over there. I'm tipping my hat off to people who live in the U.S. and people who live in Europe because it seems wild. On the new, um, oh, excuse me, it says that is why the new crime and policing bill is about to take back our streets and town centers, restoring respect for law and order, and giving police and local communities the support and tools they need to tackle local crime. It sounds just like the playbook of the MAGA in the US. Just saying. It says for the last few years, our towns and cities have seen street theft shoot up as organized gangs have been targeting mobile phones. But it is extremely frustrating for victims when they can see exactly where their stolen phone has gone, but nothing is done. That is why we are determined to give the police the powers they need to move fast to crack down on these crimes that are blighting our communities. Now, notice this. There will be increased powers to crack down on repeat antisocial behavior offenders with new respect orders banning those prolific offenders from our town centers. Huh. Yeah, come on, UK. I know a few of y'all out there. Tell me what this is because this is this is wild. Okay. Police will be given the power to seize vehicles that cause havoc to communities, allowing them to deal with the scourge of off-road bikes in public parks and dangerous e-scooters on pavements. The bill will treat this as a national emergency. It truly is, ensuring tougher enforcement action against perpetrators and better protection for victims. It will strengthen stalking protection orders, introducing a new criminal offense covering spiking and bar registered sex offenders from changing their name where they continue to pose a threat. I mean, Europe. Oh my goodness. I didn't know how bad it was, but America is like America's like America and Europe, boy. And I see why exactly why now more than ever, including the videos I've seen. I see now more than ever why Europe will be a part of the US destruction. Okay. But I'm gonna let y'all know, for those of you who are in Europe, the song ain't no different from those in Babylon, America. Why would you stay there? Just go. I'm putting my faith in the Most High and I'm jumping. I don't care if it looks like a free fall. I'm just like, I better. I'd be happy. I'd be happier taking a chance than contemplating every day which parts of the country or neighborhood I can and can't go. Despite this happens for every country, this is wild. The US and the UK. My goodness. And it says the bill will create new duty report to child abuse backed up by criminal sanctions for those who seek to cover up abuse. So y'all got a lot of problems in the U. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. And boy, I'm gonna tell you, if I was living in the UK or anywhere in Europe, because this is a problem in Europe, I would learn self-defense. If you didn't know it, I would learn it because you're not gonna put a knife to me and just think you can take everything. I'm gonna be the last person that you ever hold a knife to. We're gonna do something with them hands of yours, okay? No. Self-defense is okay. But even brothers and sisters, once again, just like for those of you in the UK, just like I tell those in Babylon, America, when you see the writing on the wall, why you not moving? That why you not saying, all right, Most High, I'm just gonna jump, because this definitely ain't the place to be. The goal was to endure for Christ. Keep that in mind. And I'm not gonna go through this because this is all lengthy, but you can see there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Look at this: anti-socialing behavior, action on knife crime, protecting retail workers, protecting vulnerable children and adults, tackling abuse, tackling violence against women and girls, new crimes, strengthening supervision of offenders, new public order and safety powers, fraud, economic crime. So they do crimes with selling fake SIM cards. That's wild. Oh my goodness. That's wild. Oh man. Giving police powers, giving police the powers they need. I mean, what can go wrong? Because not everyone needs to be treated this way. I mean, you're talking about criminals, right? But they're going to track, they use it for, excuse me, tougher actions on drugs, public confidence, and counter terrorism. I mean, what's UK? You okay over there? You okay? Somebody go check on them. Go welfare check on the whole country because it don't look so hot. All right, back to that nasty place, Babylon. All right, over in Babylon, Trump to sign executive order making English the United States official language. Hey, I'm laughing. You know why? Because it's never had a language in all of its 250 years. There's never been no official language. So why would I laugh? At some point, that means criminalizing those who speak any other language than the main language. Okay. Now, if you speak Portuguese, if you speak Spanish, Creole, if you speak Hindi, Arabic, what is going to stop someone from saying, this is my country, the official language is English, and now you need to speak it? Ooh, wait. Hey, I'm at this point, right? If I see, if I'm in a building, right? And I see, and I'm in a building and there's four walls to this building, and I see the writing on the wall. For one wall, three other walls are cleaned, but I'm starting to say, oh, this is different. With one wall filled with writing. Now I start to see two walls filled with writing, and I'm like, all right, it's 50% chance here. This is not looking so good here. And then you start to see the writing on the wall for the third wall. Now, what happens when all walls are filled? They come crashing down. Why put yourself in that position, right? I mean, there's a lot, brothers and sisters. But every country is going somewhere. Let's take it here, right? UK, hey, Greenwich, I want to talk to you real quick, right? Now I know this is old. Maybe some of our UK brothers and sisters have seen it, but I want y'all, especially in the UK, come on, share with me, please now. Share with me. Because, I mean, you can't sit there and say you live in a godly country and they doing stuff like this. I mean, US and Europe, what exactly are y'all doing?
We've got to understand, this is London. It's the city where this, a mutilated headless demon, stands tall, casting its shadow over the capital as if to say, this is what London represents now. By Damien Hirst of all people. It turns out this is called Demon and the Bowl. He's holding a bowl. This is a demon, and it's apparently a Mesopotamian demon. What do you guys think of this art? The Night Dragon own this area. What kind of group is a Night Dragon? Why are we pushing garbage like this?
To glamorize all manner of degeneracy in the media in a concentrated effort to make the population into mindless sheep.
London has paid for this monstrosity to be next to the cable cars. Cable cars just there. Why are we subjecting or pushing demons? Think about this. Is the demon walking towards City Hall, which is on the other side? Why would the leaders of this great city choose this as a symbol? A demon holding a bowl as if offering its own grotesque form to the heavens. Or maybe it's to something much darker. This isn't art. This is a statement that the heritage of London, the rich culture and history that built this city, is being erased.
Now, hear ye. The Bible told us what is in the dark will come to light, meaning what is hidden will come back again. So I want y'all to sit and think. Let's do some biblical math here, right? 1 + 1, you get it, is 2, right? If you go and invite someone, right? Let's just try this in a physical term, right? Let's say at work, right? You're working with a coworker, and you all every day, 5 days a week, you're wearing a uniform, okay? And then you guys all get maybe 2 days off, 3 days off, right? And you say, hey, friend, why don't we go out? Why don't we hang out? Now, you don't know that person because that person never went out. All they did was work. And then you knew them, y'all worked together for about 2, 3 years, and all you seen them was work and work and work and work. And then all of a sudden, you guys get 2, 3 days off. Boss is like, yeah, take some time off. You guys work really hard, push those numbers really good. I'm proud of you guys. Rest up and come ready back. Come back ready. And you're leaving like, yeah, we did the job. And you say, hey, friend, let's go, celebrate. Friend's like, I don't know, I haven't been out in a while. And you're like, yeah, let's go. And you finally convince them to come out. So you got on a nice, modest outfit, and they come out as a nightmare. The Bible said that all things must be revealed. So their wardrobe and their continence, how they hold themselves, what they believe, also is in how they dress. It's not saying we judge someone, but some people, all they can afford is certain things. Some people have no idea where to go. And I know this because I have a wife, I have a daughter. Modest clothing is expensive, not just for men, but it is expensive for females too. My goodness. It's almost as if modesty, being modest, is like a privilege kind of to the world, especially in the Western worlds, right? You talk about a nice dress running you $100 plus. A nice outfit for a man, $100, $200 plus. Now you finally see, going back to the example, you finally see, and you're like, whoa. They start coming out dressed like a Satanist. And you're like, man, I never seen you out before. And things start, so what you normally saw for 2 or 3 years, you thought that was who that person was. But then, for once, you invited them to hang out and you saw who they truly were. And this is what's happening with these nations. You thought they were Christian. You thought they were biblical. And I'm not going to debate over the term Christian because Abraham was not a Christian. Noah was not a Christian. Okay. Melchizedek, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Joseph, none of them were Christians. So let's cut that. That is a new term. They were men of the Most High, but none of them were Christians. And none of them, and I'm not saying they were Judaism either, because that's no. That didn't even exist either. But anywho, right? It's just showing you what was there before. Think of it like a dog that's in a cage, right? And the dog doesn't want to be in the cage. It is going to scratch and claw itself until it gets out of that cage. It's going to first give signals, barking, howling, maybe crying, maybe panting, maybe growling, to the point where it gets frustrated that it just wants to be released. It just is tired of being inside. And this is what's happening. These countries who were portraying to be biblical and follow Christ, they were never of Christ. If you apply the Gospels, you would understand what Christ was saying exactly. He was saying, you can know someone by their fruits. You can understand that what's hidden comes out. For example, you go and invite someone and they say, oh, I don't have no money, but every week they're going out to have a good time, or they don't have money for an emergency. But every time they're going out for a good time, you see they've just been exposed. You're broke. You have no money because you don't know how to use your money. This is not the same as those who are struggling, making ends meet, paying their bills, and can barely afford. This is not the same, by the way. Now, it says, who is this demon with the bowl? Standing over 18 meters, monumental figure is a copy of a small bronze recovered from the wreckage, discovery of a body to solve the mystery of a disembodied bronze head with Saurian features excavated in the Tigris Valley in 1932. So they've had this for a long time, Europe now, but now they want to show themselves. What is hidden must come to light, and you have to recognize if one wall says Satan, and you turn to the next wall and it says Satan, and you turn to the next wall and it says Satan, it's time to leave from that room because Satan is there. It doesn't matter how much you pray. You can't pray Satan away from a place that is given to him. What? You cannot pray Satan away that is a place that's given to him. If that was the case, Abraham and Lot would have prayed the Sodomites out of Sodom and Gomorrah. But no, you have to actually get up and do something. You have to move. Christ did it too. Mary and Joseph said, we're going to save our child. You're not just going to try and come after our child. We're going to go to Egypt. All through the Bible, it shows that there are heroic stories, meaning truths, that happened where they have took the faith to go into places that was not their comfort zone because of the evils that were overtaking where they lived. Now watch this. It says, characterized by monstrous gaping jaws and bulbous eyes, the head was initially identified as Pazuzu, the Babylonian king of the wind demons. There you go. The unearthing of this figure has since called this identification into question due to the absence of Pazuzu's customary attributes of wings, scorpion tail, and snake head. There you go. Come on now. Ancient Mesopotamian demons were complex, primeval creatures that inhabited an intermediary realm between what? A realm between human, animal, and divine. Follow. Embodying a transgressive response to rigid social structures, these hybrid beings could be variously apotropic, excuse my language, I'm butchering it, benign and malevolent. The superstition that the bowl held in the demon's outstretched arm was a vessel used for collecting human blood conforms to the misapprehension that demons were universally destructive beings. The figure more likely served as a guardian to a home of an elite personage. Come on now. The bowl. So what are they saying? Oh, well, we prefer for you to give us your blood so we don't have to take it. So here's a bowl so you can. It was demonic the whole time. It was demonic the whole time. Okay? That's what it is. That's the reality. Now, going back to Trump. Trump did some stuff. And better yet, hold on. I want to show y'all some more videos because I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to it. Don't worry. We got some more videos to show. Okay. So, United States. We'll talk about it. What's going on? And I'm going to share with y'all. There are some weird things going on. There are some weird things going on. Very weird. And I'm sharing with y'all because the subliminals, the writings on the wall, they say, help me. They say, I better run. They say, if you're there, get out, get out, get out. So remember, Ministry Shah was the one who told you that, hey, despite all the things, they was going to try and do great things, right? They're going to try and do great things and try and butter up everyone, right? You know, they're going to try to butter up everyone in the United States and say, and things will get so good that you thought like, man, okay, I see you. Starting with this.
Subject their citizens to higher taxes, such as higher property taxes, to pay for these spending habits. And, you know, these property taxes, it's like you buy a home, you buy land, you know, maybe you buy the home outright, but maybe you pay off a mortgage over 30 years. And then, okay, you've paid off the mortgage, you bought the land, you've been taxed many times. It's like is it your property or not? Just for being on your property, you got to write a check to the government every year. So you're basically paying rent to the government to live on your own property. And our homestead exemption is not strong enough to help these folks because the property gets assessed so high. And that's the thing. If you buy a home for $300,000 and you know there's certain tax, well, then what? 10 years later, they say it's worth 700,000. And so, and they say, there's homestead stuff that helps protect you to a certain extent, but you're paying more. And a lot of people can't afford that. So I think that that's a big issue. And I know we're going to be really looking at ways to bring people relief from that, because I think it's been really something that's pinching a lot of homeowners, particularly seniors on fixed income. But the reality is people have seen, and this is not the state, we don't control this. We've not allowed any of that stuff to happen. We've been cutting taxes, but people have seen their property tax liability go up over these last years because the property is being assessed higher and higher. And the reality is you don't really know how much your home is worth until someone offers you money and is willing to pull the trigger on a sale. That's how a market works. You can say it's worth this much, but if no one's willing to come and offer you that much, then why should you pay taxes on that amount? And so there's a lot of things that need to be done with that. But as part of our DOGE initiative, our state task force will look into local government expenditures by utilizing publicly.
Now, in short, they're trying to talk about getting rid of property taxes in the United States. This is big now because the taxes be hitting people, boy. Okay. I told you they would start talking and trying to do things that would be like, wow, there's really hope here. Now, how long you been in office for? Why are they doing this now? That should be my question. Why are you doing these incentives now to get people? Oh, it's because no one wants to be in your country anymore. They're afraid. So you have to make it look like you're doing it for them, right? Now, here's my thing. You have to make it look like you're doing it for them. But then you have the president who states,
we're going to be doing something else that's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million. And that
now, for anyone who is looking, who has funds, right? This program is not new. You can go to Saudi, you can go to Qatar, you can go to Kuwait, you can go to the UAE, Dubai, you could go to Oman, and you can spend equivalent to 2 million in their money, which is a house, purchasing a house, and get this golden visa. So when I saw that Trump did this, I said, they're losing people by the hundreds here. I repeat, they're losing people by the hundreds, and they need others with big money to fill in that void. You better pay attention, America, because when they say, oh, for the first time, they're appealing to the people who have the money. Mind you, this man just was trying to help out South Africans, meaning the Oreno tribe, which I'll show you after. But he was trying to give them asylum into your country. Anywho, let's keep going.
Going to give you green card privileges, plus it's going to be a route to citizenship. And wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy. And
now, what does that mean for the American person that is living in America? We're going to deport the poor. We're going to deport those on government assistance. Because we're going to deport the people who we called immigrants. We're going to deport these people, even though, half of their own citizens are on government assistance. But hey, whatever, right? So we're going to deport them and then make a new policy where we only want rich people. We're going to get rid of who we deem as non-essential citizens, and then we're going to bring in the essential citizens who have the big money. If I'm there in the United States, the first thing I'm thinking is, it's about to get really hard. Because you're giving an opportunity for wealthy people to become even richer. No bills, still not talking about taxes, still not talking, and even taxes, them taking away taxes also, because he closed 120 tax offices in your whole country. Them taking away taxes is saying, I'm tired of giving you back money, okay? I'm tired of taking back and you getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Some people get more. I was in the U.S. I've never received more than $500. Okay. And it's like the people who work the hardest actually usually don't get the most money. But anywho, anyway, someone might be offended at that, but that's the truth. Anywho, when they take them taxes, they say, I'm tired of giving you money. Now shut up. Now think about this. Taxes, even though you was paying taxes could be like, for some people, a breath of fresh air. Especially with inflation, how the United States has it over there. It would be a breath of fresh air. They could use it for school shopping, maybe some bills or whatever the case is, right? But now you take that, says, well, do it yourself. So there's good and bad to everything, right? But they're not going to stop at every tax, silly. They're still going to tax you. They're just not going to tax you enough to the point where you can get an income tax and a property tax now. Come on now. This is bad news.
they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot.
Now, boom. That's a clear indication. I ain't getting rid of no taxes, you dummies. If I'm going to charge these wealthy people taxes, I ain't getting rid of nothing. I got a master plan. Now, my thing is, why would you need taxes if there was UBI, Universal Basic Income? I wouldn't need tax offices if I was going to give out stimulus checks and just give people money. Right? What if everyone made the same amount of money? Right? Never mind.
People, and we think it's going to be extremely successful. And never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks, Howard? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
Sure.
Mr. President, are there
Wait a minute.
requirements for that
Hang on a
gold
second.
card? Do you have to invest a certain amount of money in this country in order to qualify for that gold card?
Yeah, exactly.
So the EB-5 program was really, you lend some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States of America instead?
The gold card, well, millions, but the gold card will bring in with it people that create jobs, very high level people. I think companies will pay to get people in. For instance, you today graduate from the Wharton School of Finance or Harvard or Stanford or any college, and nobody knows if you can even go to work for a company. So Apple and all these companies that want to get people to be working for them will be able to buy a card, and for the people that are number one in their class at top schools, I see that as one of the things. But generally speaking, it'll be people with money and people that create jobs, and they won't have to pay any tax on income outside of the United States, which they're not paying right now. They're not citizens, but they'll have to pay if they create jobs in the United States. They'll pay full taxes like everybody else. So you're getting big taxpayers, big job producers, and we'll be able to sell maybe 1 million of these cards, maybe more than that. And if you add up the numbers, they're pretty good. As an example, 1 million cards would be worth $5 trillion. $5 trillion.
Wow.
And if you sell 10 million of the cards, that's a total of $50 trillion. Well, we have 35 trillion in debt. That'd be nice. So we'll see. But it could be great. Maybe it will be fantastic. We have it all worked out from the legal standpoint. It's totally legal to do. Hasn't been done before. It's been done in many different forms. We give them away. Why should we give them away? We shouldn't give them away. And I think it's something very exciting. I think it's potentially just something that we're all very excited about.
Now, come on now. What's going on here? What's going on here? But better yet, we'll play this.
So this is a biblical moment. You know, when Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All these Negroes were asking me to step down. God, forgive them.
So I don't care. The right is, underneath is the president. Here is New York City mayor. To the left, governor of Florida. I don't care which part of the U.S. you're in. The whole place is full of lies and blasphemy. How long do you think the Most High is going to allow them to keep doing this? Whether it's through the celebrities, whether it's through the politicians, whether it's through music. There's absolutely zero. And in fact, there is negative 1 billion ounces of respect for the Most High in that country.
So this is a biblical moment.
He certainly is right. This is a biblical moment in the world.
When Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All these Negroes were asking me to step down. God, forgive them.
Now, when a black person says Negroes in a professional setting, it's him really wanting to say the other word. Just to an FYI, anyone. Okay, so it's still like professional. It's nasty anyway.
Are you stupid? I'm running my race right now.
He's running the race right now. This is a biblical moment. You're absolutely right, you animal.
This is the scariest sound you will hear when you live in a communist country. This is the last sound my parents heard when their fathers were taken away in the middle of the night, and they never saw their loved ones again. That's the sound of losing your freedom, the sound of always living in fear. That's my family's real life story. We escaped from Vietnam just days before Saigon fell to the communists. We were given a new life in the most generous country on earth. America saved my life. I graduated from the United States Naval Academy. I earned a master's in physics and fellowships at MIT and Harvard before the left replaced merit with racial quotas. I spent my life trying to repay my debt to America, my country, our country, with 25 years of service in Navy Special Operations, combat in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. But now our country has taken a dark turn. That's Joe Biden's Justice Department sending 24 armed agents to arrest a pro-life activist in front of his family. That's Joe Biden's IRS raiding a gun shop and seizing thousands of records from law-abiding gun owners. Our names, our addresses, our social security numbers. That's Joe Biden arresting his challenger in the next election, a former president of the United States. And now a different sound. That's the sound of someone breaking into your home or business. The sound of crime destroying our cities and communities. That's how it all starts. They let criminals back on our streets. Millions of illegal immigrants pour across our border each year, including military-aged men from all over the world. And enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child in this country. And the Biden family? Well, that's how it works in a dictatorship. The rules don't apply to the rulers. We are losing our country. You know it, but you also know you can't say it. We're forced to say that wrong is right. We're forced to lie. We can't let that happen. I've been all over the world. Believe me when I tell you, if America fails, there's nowhere else to go. I'm Hung Kao, retired Navy captain running for the United States Senate. I still believe America can be the land of opportunity. I have an obligation to fight back against those who want to control our lives and disrupt our families. We need real fighters, not politicians, not bureaucrats, not keyboard warriors acting tough in a custom-made suit. No, not here in America. We must refuse to be intimidated. We must be fearless. I'm Hung Kao. I'm running for Senate, and I approve this message because I'm not done fighting for us.
Now, the blasphemy, which is crazy to me, right?
So, this is a biblical moment.
This is a biblical. This is a biblical moment because the hypocrisy.
This is the scariest sound you will hear when you live in a communist country.
You're right. That is.
This is the last sound my parents heard when their fathers were taken away in the middle of night.
Ain't that the same thing that's happening with Manchurian Candidate, maybe? I don't, whatever. There's so many things occurring. It doesn't look good. This is like a spit in the face. And this was released like, I think, today or yesterday. It's like a spit in the face. Like, hey, I see what I'm doing to you. I mean, it's not okay in another country as long as it's in your country. I mean, you don't see the red flags, the writing on the wall, how bad and nasty it's getting for the old USA. Can't see that yet? I mean, it, let's go to these videos, right? And so, who is Trump looking for? Okay, he's wanting more Elons, okay? He's wanting more Elons. Get rid of the people of color who speak a different language, and let's just do it this way, shall we?
So these people believe they are Africans. They live in Africa, but then they don't allow any blacks in their town. Now, I didn't even know that there's a place like this in Africa until Wodemaya went to this place. The name of this place is called Orania. It's in South Africa. Now, these people are Dutch settlers who came to South Africa in the 17th century. And according to them, they bought the land from the government. The people from this place are called Afrikaners. Now, these people have their own culture. They have their own currency. They have their own flag and everything. You get it? If you want to be part of this community, first of all, you have to be a white person. That is the key factor. And second of all, you have to be fluent in their language, which is the Afrikaans. Look at my face. And third, you have to be a covenant Christian, and your record has to be clean. You don't have to have any criminal record.
Our name is Afrikaners. Our language is Afrikaans. Right. So,
what in the delusion? Oh, most high, I need to get off this planet.
we feel part of this continent, and maybe people don't agree, but I don't have another home. Obviously I know that I have European roots. Yeah. 400 years ago. Yeah. For 400 years, my people have been here. Yeah. I love Africa. I don't want to live any place else. The question, why can't a black person come here, is not the right question. It's more a question like a marriage between two people. It's an exclusive affair. Doesn't mean you're against anyone else. We want to preserve our culture. We want to preserve our traditions, our faith, our language. These are the things that we want to preserve. But
anyone notice the same rhetoric with MAGA and those in Europe? Anyone noticing? No? Okay, never mind.
Someone might ask, if you want to preserve your culture, you're preserving your culture on a land that belongs to South Africans.
The land here we bought, we paid for it.
From who?
Well, at that stage, we bought it from the previous owner, which was the government. Right?
But I don't think an African can leave Africa, go to Europe, and say that we just bought this land and no one is allowed to come in.
I mean, does it make sense? I don't know.
Question, why can't a black person come here? Is not the right question. It's more a question like a marriage between two people. It's an exclusive affair. Doesn't mean you're against anyone else. You take your wife. She's important to you. Yep. Or and in your wedding, in your marriage, you're exclusive. doesn't mean it's not built on hate. It's built on love for our culture. We want to preserve our culture. We want to preserve our traditions, our faith, our language. These are the things that we want to preserve.
But someone might ask, if you want to preserve your culture, you're preserving your culture on a land that belongs to South Africans.
The land here, we bought, we paid for it.
From who?
Well, at that stage, we bought it from the previous owner, which was the government. All right?
But I don't think an African can leave Africa, go to Europe, and say that we just bought this land and no one is allowed to come in.
Our name is Afrikaners. Our language is Afrikaans. Right. So we feel part of this continent, and maybe people don't agree, but I don't have another home. Obviously I know that I have European roots.
Yeah.
400 years ago.
Yeah.
For 400 years, my people have been here. Yeah. I love Africa. I don't want to live any place else. I feel a part of this continent. My language grew, obviously from Dutch, but it grew on this continent.
With all the monuments that I see in here, would you agree with me if I say that this man performed a lot of atrocities in the past?
Well, I think obviously these are controversial figures, and I think the fact that we put them here in Orania with our own funding, some people are uncomfortable in the rest of South Africa to care for them, to see them in public, because this is on private land, private funds, and it's our history.
But I know it's your history, but at the end of the day, a lot of people were harmed in the process. You don't think if you are embracing this, you're definitely embracing apartheid?
Is it okay to celebrate Shaka Zulu leader? Do you know who that is?
I know who Shaka Zulu is.
He killed a lot of people. Is it fine to celebrate him?
That's a question for South Africans.
That is a question. This is a question for Iranians.
He was more like the architect for apartheid. Do you agree with that?
I agree with the fact that he implemented a lot of policies in the apartheid era.
You don't think it's because of this that's why people have problems with it? It's because so many South Africans are not happy with this history, even though it's part of them. But I believe, like you just said, let the past be past. I mean, we can never forget our history. But I mean, I feel like this being here, it's more like a, what do you call it?
Check it out. This is the same ones. What's going on with the world? Crazy world. It's a biblical moment. It's a biblical moment. A lot of crazy things going on. And excuse the language, but thought I'd show you. Check it out.
No way I'm looking at motherfucking Trump store right now. No way I'm looking at the Trump store right now. Nah, brother, this is crazy. Nah.
Take a look. There it is.
I got it.
There it is. There's that card they was talking about. White privilege card. If the writing is on the wall, I got to go. I'm letting you know. If the writing is on the wall, if the writing is on the wall, what do you do? But all right, let's move on, right? India. I mean, the whole world is going crazy because this was the last thing. One of these is from last year, and one of these is from this year. But India, what? This one's from last year. India, what? Guard your children, please. India, what's going on?
जोड़ी तेरी मेरी लगे बड़ी हाई फाई तूने किया जो इशारा मैंने कर दिया सारा मैं तारा तेरे नाम सुनिया सारी की सारी तेरी विश करूं पूरी सारी की सारी तेरी विश करूं पूरी मैनू हाँ कर दे सोनिया दिला दे
What? Most I need to get out of here. Please.
That's okay. I am a lesbian. That's okay. I am bisexual. That's okay. I am transgender. That's okay. I am a hijra. That's okay. I am a CD. That's okay. I am a straight. That's okay. I am intersex. That's okay. I am non-binary. That's okay. You are straight. That's okay. We are queer. That's okay. We are beautiful. That's okay. You are beautiful. That's okay. तुमचं आमचं प्रेम असतं. प्रेम म्हणजे प्रेम असतं. तुमचं आमचं प्रेम असतं. प्रेम म्हणजे प्रेम असतं.
I need to get off this planet. I need to get off this planet. I need to go now. Everything is out of control. I mean, and while all these things are going, we have the wonderful, the only things that no one seems to care about, which is that we are being set up in society to be erased and replaced. Or should I say, replaced and erased. That's what we're being set up for. That's what the world is being set up for, right? Because everyone is doing all the crazies and things are preparing quickly. Things are just preparing quickly. When is everyone going to take things just a bit serious? Just a bit serious, you know? As if the world isn't already over, right?
Right here. Perfect.
Get your home robot today at 1-800-NEW WORLD ORDER, where your problems exist in the arms of a robot. All the things that matter.
Hey, Figures, can you come here? Okay, I'd like to try something new. Even though this is the very first time that you've ever seen these items, I'd like you to use your new Helix AI and try to reason through where you think they belong in the scene, and then work together to put them away. Does that sound good?
Well, well, well. The things that matter. The things, brothers and sisters, that matter. And I want to give this as a last portion of my video part that I'm going to share. Look at this. Just in case you thought there was only one form of robots, they've done it all. They've done it all. Replace and erase. I repeat, replace and erase. This is 2 Baruch 24. You've heard me read this before. For behold, the days are coming, and the books will be opened, in which are written the sins of all those who have sinned, and moreover, and also the treasuries in which are brought together the righteousness of all those who have proven themselves to be righteous. And it will happen at that time that you shall see, and many with you, the long suffering of the Most High, which lasts from generation to generation, who have been long suffering toward all who are born, both those who sinned and those who have proved themselves to be righteous. And I answered and said, but behold, O Lord, a man does not know the number of things which pass away, nor those which come. For behold, I also know what has befallen me, but that which will happen with our enemies I do not know. And when you will command your works. And he said unto me and said, he answered and said to me, you also will be preserved until that time, namely until that sign which the Most High will bring about before the inhabitants of the earth at the end of days. This then will be the sign when horror seizes the inhabitants of the earth, and they fall into many tribulations, and further, they fall into great torments. And it will happen that they will say in their thoughts, because of their great tribulations, the Mighty One does not any more remember the earth. And it will happen when they lose hope, and that the time will awake. Now, brothers and sisters, I'm going to stop it here. And you're like, how could you leave us like this? How could you do this? Because we're going into the fire. Some people don't recognize we've come close to the fire. We see the fire. Some of you are afraid of the fire. Some of you have smelled the smoke and you're like, wait, I see the smoke ahead of me, but I don't know if I want to go through it. And unfortunately, we all have to walk through the smoke that has fire on the other side. Brothers and sisters, the world is crazy. I get it. The world is uncomfortable. But what's more uncomfortable? Going to hell for an eternity, or putting away your weak nature? I would say going to hell is more uncomfortable. So do yourself a favor. Do what you promised the Most High. Put away that weak nature and prepare, because nothing gets easier from this point. Brothers and sisters, I want to warn you and share with you that part 2, a message from Daniel, and then even I'm going to go into the book of Jasher and show you that your spot in heaven is determined by how you walk through this fire, using the book of Jasher and the book of Revelations, and using the great and the only Abraham. With that being said, I love you all. And remember, this is our time. Don't get scared, because only a remnant survive. But the true remnant are the ones who can walk through the fire. Shalom.